major March implications in the Mountain West tonight. We had a good one from the pit in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Boise State was picked to win the Mountain West Conference. Meanwhile, New Mexico had won 6 straight games to begin Mountain West action, but coming off a loss against San Jose State as we go to courtside. He's Nick Baum. My name is Trent Rush. My goodness, when you talk resumes, the importance of this game, significant matchup tonight.
Yeah, although there's a lot of basketball left to be played this season, there's not a lot of quadrant one opportunities left for both these teams. So this game very important for both these resumes. So I think it may be January 17th. This is going to have a March feel to it in the pit.
Oh, at this point, these teams trying to go on the right side of the bubble. Tyson Dagenhart's been the man for Boise for a long time. Really good matchup in the post with Delly Jr. Joseph, too.
I think rebounding is going to be huge because whoever rebounds controls pace, and pace is one of the most important elements of this game. So those two guys going to loom large all game long.
Chance to be the starting lineups. Really good point guard matchup tonight as well. Alvaro Cardenas along with Donovan Dent. You can make the case with Dent and Cardenas. That's 1-2 when it comes to point guards in the Mountain West.
100%. Two of the best passers, not just in the Mountain West, but in all of college basketball. Should be a treat to watch those guys run the show.
Lobos rocking the turquoise uniforms tonight on Indigenous Heritage Night. Sold-out crowd from a rockin' pit. Friday night, late-night hoops in the Mountain West. The opening tip is won by New Mexico.
Not an empty seat in here, what you would expect.
Feels like a rivalry matchup. First shot, no good. And now we're getting a chance to see Cardenas bring across midcourt for this Boise State offense, coming off a 41-point win over Wyoming earlier this week. Largest margin of victory for them in a conference game in 4 years. Right away inside, one of the new starters, Ugbo, gets it taken away. Dent flying inside and scoring.
That's New Mexico basketball. Defense leading to a transition offense opportunity, and Dent, one of the best in the country at finishing.
New Mexico, a top 10 tempo team in all of college basketball. And while you look at this Broncos squad, Boise State, they like to grind a little bit. It's about physical basketball. Into the corner. Block it. No.
So Boise has to sprint back and get organized. One of the fastest teams in all of college basketball is New Mexico.
Mustafa Amsil trying to back down Meadow. That's into the lane. That's a good bucket.
He's really taken a big lead from last season and provided an option to throw the ball into the post along with Nelly Jr. Joseph. Good start for New Mexico. They're really connected on this end of the floor right now.
Richard Pitino putting a major emphasis on defense and rebounding coming into this game, knowing how they lost against San Jose State on Tuesday. Cardenas inside out. Wide open, Cardenas deep in the shot clock. That's going to be a shot clock violation.
What a great job by Nelly Jr. Joseph to make Dagenhart make an extra pass, which led to the shot clock violation.
Leon Rice, winningest coach in Boise State's history, second winningest coach in Mountain West history, only behind the legend, Steve Fisher. Has done a remarkable job at this program. I know so many folks like to talk about Boise State football. You can't sleep on Bronco basketball, and Leon Rice, big reason why. Nelly Jr. Joseph.
He gets to that left shoulder, right-hand jump hook. He's a pretty talented scorer down there.
Joseph had the heroics in a game winner earlier this season. Meadow, hard attack, but no good. Dent with some pace gets fouled, and he'll go to the strike.
Well, New Mexico's got multiple options to throw the ball to the post. You saw Amsil's jump hook, and now Nelly Jr. Joseph. Great little shoulder fake to free himself up for the jump hook. But right now, the energy defensively is tremendous, and that's creating easy scoring opportunities in broken floor situations for the Lobos.
Meanwhile, Richard Pitino on that sideline for New Mexico. You know he has his team ready after losing that game at San Jose State on Tuesday. In this conference, you just can't lose road games. Doesn't matter who you're playing. And now trying to get this New Mexico team back and off to a great start. And what a job he's done to this program.
Yeah, and you don't have to make things more complicated than they are. When we just talked to him, he said, we got to make shots. You know, we're just not shooting the ball well right now.
Boy, it is loud inside the pit. Omar Stanley. The double is on. Bowie gets an open look. And they're not going to stop here in New Mexico. 8-0 run to start this game, and the Lobos looking for more. Dangerous pass by Dent. Somehow gets through, but missed by Nelly Jr. Joseph.
Going to try to get Dagenhart a touch in the post, try and calm things down, play through him.
New Mexico did a really good job on Dagenhart last year. But Leon's son Max Rice went off for 35 in this building, and finally Omar Stanley able to let these New Mexico fans take their seats.
And Stanley's been off to a little bit of a slow start this season, but you know he is capable. Second team All-Mountain West performer a year ago, settling into an off-the-bench role.
In the corner, really good look, but it rattles out. Armseal. It's kind of been the story for New Mexico of late.
Yeah, and for Boise State, they've shot it terrific the last 3 games from beyond the arc.
Cardenas, good look from the outside, is missed. Armseal gets up for the rebound. Perfect pass from Dent, slashing and scoring. Philip Horofeatunen.
What a great look from Donovan Dent. Perfect timing. Just an elite passer in the open floor.
This point guard matchup tonight with Cardenas for Boise State, who just found Dagenhart. Sees it in every part of the rim twice and didn't drop. But then Dent on the other side. What a matchup in the backcourt. Nelly Jr. Joseph swatted by Stanley. It's going to take us to a timeout, but the Lobos rolling on their home floor.
It is loud in the pit, and the Lobos are giving these fans a reason to cheer. Donovan Dent in the open floor.
Well, the last time these teams got together was in the Mountain West tournament in Las Vegas last season. New Mexico took the lead early on thanks to this man, Jalen House, former ASU Sun Devil and Lobo legend, gets the score. How about this strip for a score? Donovan Dent so big in that game after Boise State won both meetings in the regular season. Tyson Dagenhart shows up. He has a double-double, but not enough. New Mexico wins it 76-66, and they would go on to win the Mountain West tournament and got into the NCAA tournament because of that.
And ran into a really good Clemson team that was just a difficult matchup because of their size, but there's no doubt it was a fun run from the Lobos to punch their ticket to the dance. And Richard Pitino said they're coming after Dagenhart again. So post-ups, different opportunities. They're going to be a double team on number 2 in black.
Offensive rebound try for Nelly Jr. Joseph, who stays with it. Poked it loose, but it's going to stay Boise State ball.
Boise State needs to take a deep breath. Right now, the crowd just got everybody sped up a little bit.
Big atmosphere, rivalry game, and catching New Mexico also coming off of that. Just a lot you can't afford if you're New Mexico.
Perfect storm, right? At home, big game, coming off a tough loss at San Jose State. This is what you expected, and I guarantee you Leon Wright said, listen, guys, they're going to come out and they're going to throw some haymakers early.
We'll see how the speed and tempo of New Mexico matches up with the physicality of Boise State. Dagenhart. MC was all over him, and he stepped up anyway.
Shooting it better from 3. And I think you're going to need to see a lot of that picking and popping and attacking from Tyson Degenhart. Always important on the road for your star to get rolling early.
Borovicinen, the answer.
This kid's got game, and Richard Pitino's eyes light up when you ask him about him.
Cardenas. Another excellent dish, able to get to the slashing Jamin Buchanan.
There's a great cut from Buchanan, too, off of the penetration. But Cardenas is just always got his eyes up. He can see the kickouts, he can see the cuts, can make every pass. Both him and Dent are so talented.
Cardenas, a winning player on a team that didn't get a whole lot of winning done at San Jose State a year ago, but now coming to this Boise State program, and what an impact. Nelly Jr. Joseph able to get it back.
Great duck in from Nelly Jr. Joseph, just right to the middle of the floor. On-time delivery. Those post-ups, timing is so crucial for your post player to score, and Dent was on time and on target.
Here's Cardenas to Omar Stanley. Through traffic.
I like that, slipping the ball screens. If New Mexico's going to come with hard hedges and doubles, if you slip, you can get opportunities, and Stanley gets one.
Open look missed by Nelly Jr. Joseph, the Iona transfer, who's really stepped up and been good for New Mexico this season, averaging close to 13 and 10. Buchanan, another one.
And that's how Boise State wants to play. Just a slower, methodical possession. Throw it into the post. Use your size.
Crossover from Dent. Hang time! Electric. Cardenas splitting the two. Another one to Buchanan. 3 straight buckets.
Just a carbon copy, just other side of the floor. Penetration, basket cut. Cardenas has his eyes up, and 2 points. Boise State settling in.
And then Stanley gets a stop. Degenhart trying to lead the break himself. Cardenas walks. And that's going to take us to a timeout. So after the hot start for New Mexico, we are seeing Boise State settle down a bit.
But first, Donovan Dent, what a player. The dimes, the finish, and speaking of dimes, Cardenas, a little back door to Buchanan.
You just knew this is a game to circle with New Mexico home for Boise State. 17-13 Lobos early. In the preseason poll was the Broncos, who were picked to win with getting Degenhart back. With New Mexico, they get Dent, Nelly Jr. Joseph back. You knew coming in these were going to be 2 really good teams.
No question about it. Dent and Degenhart alone garners that kind of respect. And Utah State off to an incredible start. San Diego State exactly where you'd expect them to be, looming right there. But it's a big game for sole possession of second place. What a start to this game.
This is a key one, and yes, both teams playing at a high level. Even with the slow start for the Broncos, they've picked it up. Both teams shooting 50%. Rare to see New Mexico in the half court. Drew Washington, deep in the shot clock, 3 to shoot. He's got to put it up. Gets all the way through the lane and scores.
A big-bodied, strong guard using his strength there. And no Cardenas on the floor. Cardenas already has 5 assists in this game, so we'll see what the offense looks like for the Broncos without their trigger man.
Cardenas now top 10 all-time in assists in Mountain West history, 501. That's going to be a goaltender. So 2 more coming up for Boise State. But, you know, for Cardenas, he has been such a great distributor, and as a leader, too, is a big part of what he brings.
Yeah, absolutely. And he has been a perfect fit for Boise State. And he has been a big part of this offensive explosion the last couple of games. He's got 25 assists and 2 turnovers the last 3 games.
Dent trying to get the lob, but he ends up turning it over. You have to think, too, if you're New Mexico, Cardenas not in the game right now. This is a time to create a little separation because they really have not been able to contain him tonight.
No. His ability to get into the paint and then distribute and set the table allowed for Boise State to settle into this game. So now you got to play through Degenhardt. If he's going to attract a double team, you can play out of that. But posting Buchanan, that's been a big part of what Boise State's been trying to do here.
8 to shoot. Buchanan turns it over. 4th turnover already for the Broncos.
Yeah, when you come into the pit, you better take care of the ball. And your transition defense better be on point. And oftentimes those two things are tied together. So if you're turning it over, you're in the open floor.
And you know coming here, and you see it right there, leading the Mountain West in steals, and they get their blocks too, second. And it wasn't just Jalen House last year. I mean, it's part of the culture at New Mexico. Baseline 2, getting the roll, C.J. Nolan, and this is a player for New Mexico they'd really like to get going offensively.
Yeah, Richard Pitino said he's just got to shoot it better. He's a good player, just has not really settled in and gotten into a rhythm. Only 23% from 3, but sometimes if you get a roll, you can exhale. Let's see what Nolan looks like.
Nolan, top scorer off the bench for New Mexico, but 3 for his last 18 from behind the arc in conference games. Now here's True Washington. Amsel going to work on Degenhardt. The fall away, short. Now we're starting to see this pace that the Broncos would prefer to play at. They keep going to the freshman Buchanan. That one doesn't drop. It's going to end up New Mexico ball.
Buchanan's a lot bigger in person than he looks on film. And I think you've seen that in the post.
Nelly Jr. Joseph. The pass got through the front. Washington with an excellent feed and a timeout on the floor called by Boise State. It's a 30-second timeout. And after Boise got it tight, now close to 2.5-minute scoring drought.
Just holding that seal. Whether he's ducking in or getting you worked up the floor to throw over the top. And you got not just Dent, you got multiple guys that are willing post passers. And Nelly Jr. Joseph. And you see the numbers. But keep in mind, he didn't arrive on campus until late October last year. So it took him a little bit to get rolling last year, and you've seen him take off this year.
What a great weekend for sports on the Fox Sports Network. It's not just a fun basketball game tonight. How about tomorrow? Jane Daniels looks to continue an incredible rookie season as he leads the Commanders against Jared Goff and the top-seeded Lions in a divisional playoff matchup tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern on Fox.
So Cardenas back on the floor, Trent. So you'd imagine it'll be more ball screen actions and different looks for Cardenas to get into the paint and set the table for his teammates.
It's amazing how different the Broncos looked on offense with Cardenas not in the game. And that was an issue for Boise really all last season, trying to find the answer at point guard. Cardenas has been that answer. All the way to the hoop. My, oh my.
And that's what he can do as well. He is a capable scorer. He wants to pass. But if you give him a seam, he can go lay it in as well.
Nolan trying to get it to Junior Joseph, goes out of bounds. You know, when Leon Rice knew he needed a point guard, there was a game against San Jose State last year. His son, Max Rice, and overall Cardenas kind of got into a little bit of a scuffle on the floor. And Leon remembers thinking at that time, you know what, gosh, I'm going to miss Max and that kind of toughness. And then an epiphany happened. He goes, wait a minute. Why don't we go try to get Cardenas? Because I love that energy and that spirit, and they identified him as the kind of player they would need at Boise State. Leon Rice was all over him as soon as he went in the portal.
Well, not only good, he's familiar with the Mountain West Conference, too.
Corner three is off the mark by King. Up ahead, Washington. To the basket. Lays it in.
It's too easy for Boise State. No defensive balance on a corner three. Just a run out for True Washington.
New Mexico now with 4 of their last 5 shots being makes. 10 to shoot. Meadow flying high.
It's a great pass from Chris Lockett, too. That creates the closeout and drive for Meadow.
Inside Nelly Jr. Joseph. Boy, they're fronting Joseph, but when that pass gets through, there's no help.
No, they got to do a better job. Is it going to be more ball pressure? Or you got to play behind Nelly Jr. Joseph and give yourself a chance. If you give him an angle like that, he's going to turn and score at a really high clip.
Already with 8 points is Nelly Jr. Joseph on 4 of 7 shooting. Corner 3 is strong. Contested rebound. That's going to be a foul on Omar Stanley. It'll be Lobo ball when we come back. As we've just seen a battle inside.
A great drive from Meadow. And then just too easy. A seal throw over the top. Nelly Jr. Joseph. A cupcake.
Lobos up by 8 right now. The reason why Boise's even in this game at all at this point is Alvaro Cardenas has been outstanding. Alvaro leading the Mountain West in assists this year, one of the top 10 in the country. He's 6th or 7th rather in assists per game. He has been excellent. And it's interesting, you think about a comp for Cardenas. How about this man, John Stockton, Leon Rice thinks that that's a comp.
Yeah, if Coach Rice says it, he's giving the green light to talk about it. I think it's a pretty good comparison, too. Tough, smart, obviously a great passer, a capable scorer. But Cardenas and Dent, those two guys, kind of a dying breed. Those pass-first guys that want to set the table. But you look at what John Stockton did in his career. Goes without saying.
Nelly Jr. Joseph gets right around Tyson Dagenhart. He's got 10 already. As New Mexico has a 10-point lead.
Just having a hard time dealing with Nelly Jr. Joseph in the post.
Weaving through everybody's Cardenas. Shots missed. Now here come the Lobos, other side. Washington's going to bring it back out. Rejected. Omar Stanley with the swat. That's already the 4th block tonight. And Leon Rice making that comparison, but he was showing his big guys film of John Stockton, Karl Malone getting ready for this game. He goes, when you got a point guard like Cardenas, who's like John Stockton, look how hard Karl Malone runs the floor and gets the space, and that's a big point of emphasis they're trying to get from their bigs right now.
Well, even also Buchanan cutting off the ball, running the floor, it just incentivizes you to move because Cardenas will find you. And that's what Richard Pitino talked about coming after Dagenhart.
True Washington to the bucket. Lobo fans loving it. Then they get the stop. Rice wants a whistle.
A lot of contact, no doubt about it, but this game has been physical in the paint.
New Mexico playing excellent. Into the corner. Upsill! You betcha! A 9-0 run for the Lobos as Leon Rice calling a second timeout in the first half. Less than 5 minutes to go. It is all New Mexico here in the early goings.
Mustafa Amsil just sitting in that corner. Great penetration and kick from True Washington. Amsil knocking it down. And I just love the balance for New Mexico. Nelly Jr. Joseph in the post. They've gotten transition as well. They got contributions from a lot of different guys. And Leon Rice is not happy with the officials in terms of the physicality. But Dagenhart got fouled, but this game's been physical both ways. But look at that jump. Amsil never really got into a good flow last season, but I really like how he's played so far this year. He scored in the post with those jump hooks, and you know he can step out and shoot as well.
Amsil is averaging 16.5 points a game in the four going into the Wyoming game, the last effort where he did not score.
And Leon Rice with kind of a boisterous and congratulatory little gesture to the officials after getting the call.
And this fan base has no trouble letting Leon Rice hear about it. Really good fan base here in New Mexico. One of the great places to see a college basketball game, the Pit.
That's the first foul on New Mexico. I think that's what Leon Rice is pointing out, too.
10 to shoot. Meadow. Just not a lot of room. 5 seconds now. Contested three. Missed strong. Omar Stanley, second chance. Now it's Dagenhart. Another missed three. And then a foul on the rebound try. Broncos 1 for 10 from behind the arc to start this game.
After shooting it just at a ridiculous clip over the last 3 games, Boise State's been on fire offensively, and they have had a hard time from beyond the arc, knocking down their open opportunities.
Boise's now gone over 3 minutes without scoring. New Mexico has gone on a 9-0 run. Amsil trying to add to that, couldn't. I think the roof was going to come off if that would have gone in. Dagenhart. Just nowhere to go. He gets fouled, and the player who's made more free throws than anybody else in the Mountain West Conference will shoot 2 when we come back. But New Mexico dominating so far in this game. A 9-0 run over 3 minutes here at the Pit. You can help families impacted by the California wildfires. Visit go.fox/Red Cross or scan the QR code on your screen to support these efforts. Your donation enables the Red Cross to respond to and help people recover from this disaster. Fox has already donated over $4 million. Please donate if you can. Nick, I gotta tell you, as a Southern California guy who lives 30 miles south of those fires, the way the community has been impacted, it's rocked everybody's world, it feels like, in Southern California. But the way the community has come together and great stuff like the American Red Cross and companies like Fox stepping up and helping, it's a big deal.
Yeah, I was just going to say, kudos to Fox for stepping up and helping out. Obviously, Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles.
If I may, I got a phone call from HR at Fox, and immediately I was like, uh-oh, what did I do wrong? And it was just to check on you. Just make sure you don't get called everybody in the company. That was pretty cool.
That is cool.
Tyson Dagenhart, shot no good, missed both. Again, that's the leader in made free throws in the Mountain West Conference. Finally gets to the line and misses 2.
1 for 4 from the floor is Dagenhart, just not getting it going.
Going to stay in New Mexico basketball here as the Lobos have come out swinging in this game and have dominated inside.
It just set the tone from the jump, but you said it, inside, efficient, shooting 57% from the floor, multiple guys making plays.
They got out to that 10-0 run to start the game. Boise State came right back in there. And as soon as Cardenas left, all of a sudden New Mexico opened it back up, and they haven't looked back since.
The best offense has been Cardenas setting the table, but then Buchanan posting up. Look at this one-hand pass. This kind of look like Stockton, doesn't it? And Buchanan, that duck in. But Buchanan's been the one bright spot. He's 4 of 6 from the floor. Been really efficient posting up for Boise State.
3:24 to go here in this opening half. Boise gets the free throw. In a 14-point game that really has been controlled by the Lobos throughout. Boise still has missed 6 of the last 7 shots. Haven't made a field goal in over 4 minutes.
And this is where Tyson Degenhardt's at the 5. I would go inside to Nelly Jr. Joseph.
Seal instead, a foul on the outside on the dribble drive. Called out on Buchanan. Stays on Lobos. That's a 4th against Boise State.
Pearson Carmichael checking in for Boise State. Pulled his red shirt just a few games ago. True freshman from Oregon. Plays with confidence, knocking down shots.
Nolan with no one around, but he missed it. And then a foul on the rebound. That's going to be against Buchanan again. So 2 quick ones for the junior transfer from Indiana Wesleyan.
He needs to make sure he stays on the floor with how he's played offensively. So he's got to be careful.
He's been a spark off the bench for him. Speaking of sparks off the bench, C.J. Nolan's role is to do that, and he scores right there.
Yeah, both of his made baskets have been 2-pointers.
Boise would love to get Degenhardt going, just 3 points. 3rd leading scorer in the Mountain West Conference, held in check to this point. It's going to be a foul against New Mexico. Looks like it's on the ground. Call that one on Julian Bowie. Check that Nolan is second. Bring True Washington back into the game. You know what's kind of interesting about New Mexico this season? They're 9-0 when Washington has been in double figures. 5-4 when he hasn't been. So if they can get him going offensively, that generally is a good recipe for the Lobos.
That's a good nugget right there.
That was thrown right to Amsil. Hard collision.
Cannon got hit hard in the eye.
They're letting them play tonight. It's been physical.
Look at his ball handlers. Wow.
4 to shoot. They're running out of time. Carmichael's going to put it up. Rejected by Dent. 3-on-2. Washington. Dent. Trying to answer, can't do it. And this big crowd keeps on rocking. Up-tempo again. Ball featured in. Adding some more, and another timeout by Leon Rice, his 3rd of the first half. They have 1 timeout remaining, and it's the Lobos by 20.
And this has been a clinic from the Lobos. Buchanan getting hit, which ultimately led to the block from Donovan Dent. I like True Washington repaying the great defensive play, getting Dent an open look. But this has been both sides of the ball. Total domination from New Mexico. They're playing hard, they're locked in, making everything hard on defense. When New Mexico is juiced up on defense, offense just comes a little bit easier for them.
9-5 for Dent already as Richard Pitino looks on. He can't be more pleased with the way his team's played. A 16-2 run over the last 523. One thing about Boise State, though, they are a deep team. And they have had the ability to wear some teams down over the course of the season. So even though they're down 20 right now, you really can't count them out because they have shown a lot of fight in second halves. That's a bad turnover. Dent takes it all the way to the hoop. Count it and one.
Boy, just a freshman mistake. Look at Carmichael was supposed to get a handoff. Instead, he doesn't get it, which then leads to a lazy pass. So the set play was off schedule immediately, and then you compound issues with a 3-point play opportunity for Donovan Dent. Poise on the road, so important.
Dent converts the three-point play. Boise State just 21 points so far. Their season low was 24 against Washington State. They trailed that game 44-24. And it's 44-21 New Mexico right now after this 19-2 run.
And I can't say enough about this crowd. This crowd has been excellent from the jump. And it's always so important when you have an environment like this to get off to a good start, to keep the crowd engaged. And New Mexico has done that.
And their head coach feeds into that. And we just saw him over on the sideline a moment ago, putting his arms up in the air, pumping up the crowd after that last and-one try. Another takeaway. Fast break chance. Dent the dish. Washington the finish. Turnover for Boise State. They've all led the buckets. Dent again. Finally, Boise State gets one back.
Trent, New Mexico has 20 fast break points. 20-0 in fast break points.
I mean, this is astounding. New Mexico, after losing at San Jose State earlier this week, taking on a very good team in Boise State, the preseason pick to win this conference. A first-half statement being made here at the pit. Neto and a travel first, so they don't even get that one. And it has been a nightmare 20 minutes for the Broncos. Timeout called by New Mexico, so Richard Pitino not going to let 6.2 seconds go to waste. To use it or lose it timeout. Now we'll try to draw something up.
But New Mexico has just gotten loose in the open floor, and it's all because of their defense, whether it's getting stops and running or getting turnovers and running. It's just doing what they do. It's how New Mexico wants to play. They want to play fast. They want to play off of their defense. 17 fast break points per game, already at 20-0 in that department.
Just think about that context for a moment. 17.3 fast break points per game is 6th in all of college basketball. They have 20 in the first half. Here's Dent. A little bit of space. Another one. Donovan Dent, 14 first half points. And New Mexico has a 27-point halftime lead.
Wow. 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 Was that an impressive 20 minutes of basketball from New Mexico?
Anybody with questions about if the Lobos can be a tournament team, here's your case study right here. New Mexico, unreal opening half. They close it out on a 14-0 run and have a 27-point lead at the break. New Mexico, quite frankly, couldn't have played a better first half than that. They have a 27-point lead at halftime. It was like the perfect half for the Lobos here at the Biz. We welcome you courtside. He's Nick Baugh. My name is Trent Rush. My goodness, you watch that. I mean, it was a clinic that the Lobos put on.
It all started on the defensive end of the floor because that got the party started in the open floor. And boy, do they have the ultimate party animal in Donovan Dent, pushing it and making plays. He was outstanding distributing the basketball with 6 assists. But then I thought as the half wore on, he picked and chose his spots to be aggressive offensively to score as well. He finished with 14 points. He just could not have played better than he did in that first half. Everybody was locked in and engaged, but Dent was a superstar.
Dent was really good. Joseph early on had 10 points, but you just can't ask for this. And then he hits that on the baseline. It was a perfect half, quite frankly, for New Mexico. Meanwhile, for Boise State, this is a really good rebounding team. Best in the Mountain West in rebounding margin. They're getting beat by 6 on the boards tonight.
Yeah, and that can't happen if you're Boise State. But fast break points, points in the paint, allowing New Mexico 21 of 34 from the floor. You turn it over 9 times if you're the Broncos. Just all New Mexico in that first half.
That 22-0 fast break point, staggering. Well, Indigenous Heritage Nights, a good one for New Mexico, enjoying some success in turquoise up 27. Mexico was an original member of the Mountain West Conference founded 25 years ago. In 25 years, they have never led a conference game by 27 points. Well, Richard Pitino has the Lobos up 27 at the start of the second half right now. He's Nick Baum. My name is Trent Rush. Leon Rice looking on, trying to figure it out for this Boise State team that did not play well in the first half.
No, it starts with taking care of the ball and your transition defense. And right at the start, True Washington reestablishes and sets that tone with a turnover.
And if that doesn't sum up what tonight has been, coming out of the half, the inbound pass results in a turnover. And New Mexico's getting it back.
It just pokes it from him, and True Washington now, I think, with a bloody nose. But my number one key for New Mexico is sustain it. Can they sustain it? Well, look at him. Look at that.
Richard Pitino has wanted True Washington to continue to buy in on the defensive end. That's some buy-in right there to get a turnover on the first possession of the second half. Lobos closed out the opening 20 minutes on a 14-0 run. In fact, Boise State hasn't made a field goal since the 7:17 mark of the first half. 3 to shoot. Amsio's got to put it up. Gets stopped underneath. A shot clock violation. Broncos will get it back.
That's a guy. He's got to get involved in the game here. Just too quiet. 1 for 4 from the floor. Didn't really make an impact. Obviously, that can't happen if you want to make a run here if you're Boise State.
It's the third leading scorer in the conference. Preseason player of the year, Tyson Dagenhart.
Nice. Set play. Just to clear out that whole left side, Trevor. Get a little misdirection, throw back to Dagenhart. He rips and goes baseline. That's a sign that Leon Rice said we need to dial up something to get our star in this game.
Donovan Dent's been a star, 14 in the first half. Got fouled on the floor. They waved off the shot. Dent, the leading scorer in this conference, second leading assist man in the Mountain West. 14 and 6 in the first half. Omar Stanley picked up the foul in second, but a captain, Dent, a leader a year ago. On a team that had a couple of great guards. Now it's his time. Junior Joseph. No good underneath.
Yeah, you had 2 superstars in House and Mashburn alongside Dent, and Dent just slowly but surely became a star in his own right.
Jamar Mashburn Jr. missed a little bit of time in non-conference, and that allowed Dent to kind of rise up and create a situation where Richard Pitino is up with no choice. He's got to play him starter minutes. And even with those 2 guys in the backcourt, now you're kind of seeing some of the fruits of that labor to have Dent take on a star role.
And even, I'd say, True Washington as well. He was able to get some minutes last year because of Mashburn's injury. But early on here, Trent, started on the left side, then on the right side, just clearing space and letting Dagenhart put his head down and drive the ball to the basket. Got a layup and then drew a foul.
Leon Rice just looking on, and I don't know what you tell your team after that. I mean, you go into halftime. I mean, I don't know what kind of adjustments you can even make.
You and I were talking that there isn't necessarily a big schematic adjustment. A lot of it is toughness, handling the ball, and just matching New Mexico's level of competitiveness and fight. There's no set play for that. Although, I will say, ISOing Dagenhart was something we didn't really see in that first half.
Also, credit Lobos did a really good job on him. Now they force a turnover, and now Boise State has a fast break chance, still without any fast break points. Dent quickly. Boy, they move fast. He turns it over. Stanley looking to run. Waiting for it. Offensive foul taken by Mustafa Amsil. And that's the third on Stanley.
Dent sprinting and getting a piece of it. And Omar Stanley, one thing about him, he's a little foul prone, and he can get some offensive fouls. Good anticipation from Amsil to set his feet and take a charge.
Donovan Dent gets a lot of attention because of what he does on the offensive side. The defense is every bit as fun to watch. We saw it on that block. As Dagenhart's trying to get into the fight a little bit, he gets a takeaway.
Boise State trapping ball screens, trapping the post.
And that's going to be a foul on Washington on the reach. As the ball got underneath, and that's going to be the second on True. So we're starting to see the Broncos play with some more intensity.
Yes. And I think Leon Rice has had to manufacture it with trapping the post and trapping ball screens.
Omar Stanley just doesn't drop. Gets the second chance. And that's going to be a jump ball, and the arrow belongs to Boise State. But even still, Broncos getting good looks, and those aren't going. To shoot. Cardenas out to Dagenhardt. Gets by everybody. Get the ball to your star and let him go to work.
Dagenhardt just much more aggressive to drive the ball to the basket.
Timeout on the floor called by New Mexico. Richard Pitino trying to keep New Mexico playing at this high level, but Tyson Dagenhardt not done for the Broncos. New Mexico up by 21 on their home floor against Boise State with Nick Baum. I'm Trent Rush. This Boise State team has been in big holes before. They got down huge against Washington State earlier, down 20 and a half. Came back, had a shot to tie at the end, but two of the top scorers in the league, Donovan Dent, 14 already, then Tyson Dagenhardt on a personal 6-0 run, trying to lead the Broncos to at least make this competitive tonight.
Only one made field goal for Dagenhardt in that first half. 6 points already to start this second half. And Boise State's ability to get to the free throw line is very important. They get a lot of production from that area of the floor.
Seal. Stopped by Dagenhardt, but a foul. We're going to call that one on Tyson. That's going to send Seal to the line.
Already in the second half, game getting called a little tighter, Trent. Some more foul calls. Yeah, that's an easy one. Dagenhardt really wound up. It's where if you want to go vertical, put both hands up and jump straight up. But when you wind up like that, it's an easy call.
Boise's done a better job of creating turnovers. Lobos copped it up just 3 times in the first half. They've only turned it over 4 times here in 3 minutes of the second half. They're going to need a lot more of that. 23-point game. Lobos have led by as many as 27. That was the difference at halftime.
Dagenhardt trying to post up. Good fight from Mustafa Amsil.
Dagenhardt got bumped. And look at the way Amsil has defended Tyson Dagenhardt tonight. I don't know that that's a guy that gets a whole lot of credit for his toughness, but he showed a lot of that.
Well, even Richard Pitino said, he told us, Mustafa Amsil's tougher than he maybe looks. And I think you're seeing that.
He's done a really good job on Dagenhardt in this game. For all the offensive outputs tonight, the defense deserves every bit as much credit. 8 seconds for Dagenhardt. Now the double comes to the backcourt. Lockett has got to put it up, a heave. Missed everything.
A great possession. You were bragging on him, and Mustafa Amsil fought the dribble on Dagenhardt and then understood the late shot clock situation. So what does he do? He traps that ball screen. Just great effort and great IQ from Amsil.
I got to be honest with Amsil. It's just, you didn't see this last year. No. You didn't see this side of him. And now it's coming out, and he's really risen to the occasion. The Dayton transfer, originally from Finland, making an impact.
And the officials have tightened this one up. There were not a lot of whistles in the first 10, 12 minutes of that first half. There's already been 7 total fouls in the first 4 minutes here.
To shoot. Amsil fighting for it on the floor. Able to save it. Good look for Washington, who knocks it down.
Well, possession that was on the brink of a turnover ends in a triple. Silly one from True Washington.
We told you before, when True Washington's in double figures, New Mexico's 9-0. That 3 puts him at 11. Lobos rolling right now as True Washington just stepped into that 3 and stroked it.
I love that. He's been playing hard defensively, get a little reward offensively. All Lobos in the pit.
We were wondering if New Mexico was going to be able to maintain their defensive intensity in the second half after a wonderful first half. Well, first possession of the second half, yeah, we saw it right away.
Yeah, I think this was an important tone-setting play to reestablish how hard you were going to play. But True Washington gets the turnover. Watch Donovan Dent trail the play, get the block of Omar Stanley. It would be easy to just let that one go. Mustafa Amsil getting back, setting his feet, taking a charge. And then, of course, continuing to do work in the paint, making life tough on Boise State. Nothing easy. So New Mexico doing a nice job sustaining things defensively.
Richard Pitino has this New Mexico team playing great basketball tonight. The fan atmosphere has been spectacular in the pit. Cardenas trying to get something going in this second half. Started the game well, hasn't played well since, and missed the shot.
Boise State now 1 for 13 from 3.
And they're having a hard time getting anything inside either. So it's not like they're just camping out behind the arc. Dagenhart with a takeaway. Dagenhart, look out below.
Well, you got to tip your cap to Dagenhart coming out, and he's fighting. He's playing hard. He's trying to lead by example here.
Yeah, you expect that from a leader. He's got 8 second-half points after just 3 in the opening 20 minutes. He's going to stay with New Mexico.
Dagenhart just high hands. Able to get the steal, and then good job kind of dribbling in front of Dent to take away his angle and then go flush it.
It was Washington's spark in the second half. Dent finished the first half strong, misses that 3.
Whoa.
Boise trying to chip away.
That's a tough shot.
Julian Bowie, the freshman.
Yeah. Wow.
Player of the year in the state of Idaho. Stays home. They like him.
More effort from Nelly Jr. Joseph.
Every extra effort play has belonged to New Mexico tonight.
And that's where I do think the crowd makes a difference in that. The energy, New Mexico feeds off it. And so it really kind of snowballs in the pit. Nolan, 3 made baskets, all 2s for the North Texas transfer.
Yeah, he's just getting to the hoop, and he's been a good 3-point shooter, though has struggled in conference. Bowie, another floater.
Yeah. Trey, you said it. They like this kid. I like this kid, too. He's got game.
And Boise State is the kind of team that is built to get better as the season goes on. They've been playing well. You just didn't expect this performance. Bowie is trying to have a personal 7-0 run to miss the 3.
It's a window into his confidence, though. He's hit a tough floater. Able to get another one, and then there, quick trigger on a 3. He plays with a level of confidence that's pretty special for a young player.
Milosevic. Borovicinin. Back out 2 to shoot for 3. No good. Another stop for the Bronco defense. They can get it back to 20 with a bucket here. Dagenhart's been the hot hand in the second half who missed the 3. And Three-point shooting woes continue.
I think he can get that shot with Nelly Jr. Joseph guarding him too.
1 for 15 now is Boise State from behind the arc. It has just been a real struggle.
After being scorching hot for the last 3 games.
Right. Nelly Jr. Joseph, no.
But much better resistance, though, in defending him in the paint than what you saw in the first half from Boise State.
Cardenas has to be careful. He used his foot. It was a kickball, but it stopped a fast break. So it's a turnover. He's got to be careful that he didn't get hurt there with the ball underneath his foot. He's all right. That was a scary moment.
And watch him. He just clamps that ball with his foot. You don't see that a lot. Cardenas, he got up to a great start. Started with 5 assists, 1 turnover. Since then, 0 assists and 5 turnovers.
The way he began this game, I mean, he was everything for Boise State offensively as they were just trying to hang around and were for a while. He came out of the game. New Mexico goes on a run. He comes back into the game. Well, that train had left the station. Novosevich. And now Boise State playing with Cardenas and Dagenhart on the bench. So the second unit, Nelly Jr. Joseph, hook shot, no. Comes Lockett, a new addition to the starting lineup a few games ago. Trying to get some confidence there. And he'll get some free throws when we come back. New Mexico still with a 22-point lead. Here with 11:54 to go. Richard Pitino pleased what he's seeing from his team right now. New Mexico has bullied Boise State to this point. 11:54 to go in the game. 55-33 is Leon Rice. Seeing his team right now, 44 in the net at the moment, the Mountain West. 6 teams in the top 100 of those net rankings. New Mexico at 61 right now. The performance they're putting on tonight, they're going to skyrocket potentially.
And not only because of who they beat, but how they've done it. But this week, I'll tell you what, in this conference, you better bring it every single night. Tim Miles' squad, heck of a win on Tuesday over the Lobos. And how about Coach Kruger taking care of business against top 25 ranked Utah State?
And the whole league excited to see Utah State go down and brought everybody else back in the mix. And New Mexico especially after losing at San Jose State on Tuesday to see the top spot in the conference right back in their possession, at least shared with Utah State the next day. They had to feel good about that. 55-35, 20-point game. But this is a very significant game because for Boise State, they're only going to get probably 2 more quad 1 chances as the season goes on. New Mexico will get 4 more. So even though they're at 61 now, they absolutely can play themselves in the at-large conversation. They've been there. And last year, the Mountain West Conference got 6 teams into the NCAA tournament, including Richard Pitino's Lobos, who won the Mountain West to be that 6th team to get in. Right now, Mike DeCourcy has the Mountain West getting 3 in. Maybe you could try to get 4, but the way the season is gone and the way the computer has showed the net rankings, it's going to be tough beyond Utah State, San Diego State, and then maybe one of these 2 teams.
Well, and sometimes it's not just about you, it's about what else is happening. And the SEC and the Big Ten having such strong seasons so far in terms of having so many top 50 teams in the net, they're probably not going to go in the other direction in terms of the amount of bids they get. And there's only so many bids. But there's no question there are a lot of NCAA tournament caliber teams in the Mountain West Conference. That I know for sure.
And for Boise State, I mean, to lose a quad 1 game on the road, it's not the end of the world. You'd like to have a better showing than what we've seen from Boise State tonight. That being said, it's the lack of now opportunities. They have 1 quad 1 win and now probably just 2 remaining. Excellent feed underneath as Nelly Jr. Joseph now has a dozen.
So many guys have improved. Amzil, Nelly Jr. Joseph, everybody just taking a big step forward. True Washington.
Bowie way deep. Well short. here we are in mid-January. It just feels like it's never too early to talk about what it's going to take to get into the NCAA tournament, especially with this matchup tonight of two pretty much true bubble teams right now. It's going to stay with Boise State. Looks like he was last touched by Stanley. Should be Lobo ball. What'd you think?
I thought it looked like it was on Stanley. And I think a lot of Lobos fans agree.
V cut to Cardenas, but he joined the pivot fold.
7 turnovers for Cardenas. That is a season high for him. And let's be honest, not all of them have been self-inflicted. A lot of them have been because of New Mexico's pressure. There it just got too sped up.
It feels like the game plan going in for New Mexico tonight was stop Tyson Degenhardt. And once Richard Pitino figured out the role that Cardenas was going to have in this game, it became stop Cardenas, and they've done that.
Well, and you got to credit the Boise State backcourt taking the challenge of guarding a guy like Cardenas. Double team.
Inside out to Lockett for 3, rattles out.
Good look, though. Just ice cold from 3.
1 for 18 now. Cade Dotson drilled it.
And a big fist bump from Richard Pitino after that turnover.
We're approaching 11 o'clock local time in Albuquerque. It's a 20-plus point game, and these fans are going nowhere. Lobo Nation, 14,000-plus strong tonight, has been on their feet all night long. And one chance coming up for Boise State. Strong attack there by Lockett. But New Mexico has simply been too much.
Boy, this is a thread the needle dime. That's pretty. I think Boise State's looked to push it a little more, which you never want to get into a track meet, but the reality is when New Mexico's gotten set in the half court defensively, Boise State has turned the ball over and not gotten good shots, so it's made sense to explore a little bit when you have numbers in the open floor.
You definitely can sense the Broncos have played better in the second half. And it's just, unfortunately for them, things couldn't have gotten any worse for Boise State in the first, and things couldn't have gotten any better for New Mexico. And 27-point game at halftime. Meanwhile, Boise couldn't buy a 3 even if it was in the portal. 1 for 18.
Look at this pressure. Boise flying around. Doesn't matter. Mustafa Albuquerque just going and making a play.
He may be the most improved player in the Mountain West Conference. Albuquerque's played very well tonight, very well this season. Second leading scorer on this team. Austin Meadow. He's been quiet tonight. And he's going to get some free throws. Meadow just 2 points. This is a player averaging over a dozen a game.
Yeah, he's not played a ton. He missed a couple of drives to the rim early, and we haven't seen too many opportunities for him, but certainly talking about a double-figure scorer in Meadow.
Had the 18 against Wyoming. You can make a case he's the most consistent three-point shooter. Maybe that's what they've been missing. And we haven't even seen him get hardly any looks. He's had 2, and he missed them both.
Another guy that's really improved, too. A lot of it is opportunity.
Sure.
Extended minutes, more shots, more production. But a year older doesn't always mean a year better. There's a lot of guys on the floor that are a year older and a year better.
True Washington to Nolan.
Knocked down a couple of two-pointers. Now that three-pointer's a little easier for you. Big shot for Nolan.
Just the fourth made three in conference games for Nolan on the season. He was 3 for 17 coming into tonight, and that's a big one for his confidence. On the other side, and Julian Bowie not afraid to shoot it. Second chance. Degenhart gets it taken away by Washington. Lobos have numbers. Washington may have gotten away with the travel, then gets stopped underneath, and a foul. So a timeout called by Leon Rice with 7:32 to go. Washington gets to the right side. Nolan knocking it down. Lobos up 25. 25-point lead for the Lobos against the Broncos here Friday night basketball in the Mountain West Conference on FS1. The officials are looking at this play right here underneath to see if Washington hit Degenhart in the head on this play when he was swatting for the ball. He definitely got the ball. I don't know if maybe there was light contact on the follow-through.
I don't really see it.
I mean, maybe his right hand grazed the locks of Degenhart coming down, but
I don't see much there. It looks like the officials just play on.
Yeah, and I think that Leon Rice probably a little bit upset about that. I think maybe he thought Washington got away with the travel. Yes. I think maybe thought there wasn't a foul on the other side. I mean, there was a collection of things that did not go Boise's way in that sequence, but it's been that night for Boise State. 1 for 19 from behind the arc. They missed 14 straight threes. And you need the three ball to try to get back to the game, and they just haven't had it.
And it's not like Boise State's an overly reliant three-ball team, but you got to knock down a couple. Right. And they've knocked down more than a couple over the last 3 games. Just been really cold tonight.
Leon Rice, I mean, he's an elite coach.
Yes.
Out here on the West Coast and got to 300 wins earlier this season. Has done them all at one program, which is pretty amazing. There's only been 8 coaches that are active in college basketball right now to have that many wins all in one stop, and Leon Rice is one of them.
They built a consistent winner. Consecutive NCAA tournaments. It's one thing to be a flash in the pan. It's another thing to sustain it year after year after year. You know, Leon Rice and Boise State, they're going to be a well-coached, good team.
Tournament team a year ago, one of the 6 from the Mountain West. Trying to get back. Bowie. Omsil, tough rebound. Meadow fighting for it underneath. So make sure everyone's all right. 7:08 to go in the game. That's going to be the second on Keene. So 7th against Boise State. Puts New Mexico in the bonus. Boise State's already there. And Richard Pitino greeting the second unit that put some hard effort in.
Don't you think, talking to Richard Pitino today, everybody around the program was maybe freaking out after that San Jose State loss, but he wasn't. He was understanding that it's college basketball. You can't ride the waves of the ups and the downs. And I think that steady approach has served him well, but I don't think there's any doubt he's got his guys ready to play here tonight. He's got a good thing going here at New Mexico. It's his 4th season. I mean, when he took the job, New Mexico was outside the top 300 in the net, and he has made them the kind of program that expects to go to the NCAA tournament every year. They won the Mountain West tournament last year, had the regular season title in their sights, and a 6-0 start to conference this year. And he's gotten recognition, a Naismith Coach of the Year watch list candidate coming in. There's a lot to feel good about with New Mexico basketball, thanks to the way that Pitino has really revitalized this program.
And these fans are showing out for it.
And they deserve it. A fan base like this deserves a good quality basketball team.
Saved underneath. Junior Joseph hands it off to Donovan Dent. I mean, just what an amazing place the pit is. Seats 15,000. They're saying there's 500 empty seats tonight. I don't see them. Good luck with that.
No way.
Maybe they're including standing room only on that front, but for this building built in 1966, 10 times has hosted NCAA tournament games as Tyson Dagenhart gets fouled. We'll get an and one try here. Largest indoor venue between Phoenix and Dallas. Of course, everyone knows the iconic Jim Valvano, NC State, taking that Phi Slamma Jamma 1983. That was in this building. Okay, there's more than 500 empty seats now, but New Mexico is
it wasn't at the start of this game, I promise you that. Absolutely rocking all night long. It's a neat spot, too. It's very unique. Yeah.
So here we're sitting above, we're more than a mile above sea level here in Albuquerque, but the pit is actually 37 feet below street level. So you have great sight lines all over. There's no beams or bars in your way. Just a really neat place to take in a college basketball game. And then Nelly Junior Joseph giving the fans something more.
Great pass from Omsil, too. Penetration, dump down. Front line's been pretty good for the Lobos.
Cardenas.
That was working early for Boise State. Buchanan going to work with his back to the basket. Finally got back to it there.
There's the star, Donovan Dent, 14 in this game, all in the first half. Helped mount that huge rally. Transition try and a score for Austin Meadow. But under 5 minutes to go, and it's been a New Mexico showcase, and we'll see where they end up going in the net rankings. It's a nice feed, Joseph to Dent that time.
A really nice pass from Nelly Junior Joseph.
It was a week ago, Mike DeCourcy had New Mexico as the last team in on his bubbles. Cardenas finally did something on the outside. After the San Jose State loss, probably off of that bubble, but man, you look at what they showed tonight, you almost want to put them right back in there.
I know. Especially if you watch this game, particularly that first half. That was an absolute clinic from New Mexico in the first 20 minutes.
75-52, 4 minutes left. And it's just been a party at the pit all night long. Cardenas missed, unless you're Boise State. Dagenhart's three, another miss. And Cardenas got that one a moment ago. 2 for 20. It's Boise State from behind the arc.
Yeah.
Timeout on the floor. So many great players to come through this program. Michael Cooper, Luke Longley, they're on display in this building, the pit. Historic site for college basketball. And a wonderful night for the Lobos, dominating Boise State. 3:38 left when we come back. Obviously, it's been a very difficult week and a half in Southern California, and you can help families that have been impacted by California wildfires. Visit go.fox/Red Cross or scan the QR code on your screen to support these efforts. Your donation enables the Red Cross to respond to and help people recover from this disaster. Fox has already donated over $4 million, so please donate if you can. – 75-52, New Mexico leading Boise State. Nelly Junior Joseph converts the free throw as Richard Pitino looks on at his team, and you wonder how much longer the starters going to be out there at this point.
Maybe another minute. And out of those 4 guys going to the scores table for the Lobos.
They'll get a proper pit send-off.
They should.
Tyson Dagenhart has the ball right now, 4 away from 5th all-time in scoring. And Boise State got 14 tonight, trying to catch Kobe Carmichael, left wing 3. Just the 3rd of the night for Boise State.
Carmichael and Bowie. I think those 2 guys are going to be important for consistently knocking down long-range jump shots, to give space for Dagenhart and space for Cardenas to drive and make plays.
Washington's look no good underneath. Now Buchanan. Thought Buchanan was important for them early on. He kind of went quiet, put back, tried, counted, and 1. Second chance effort. Good for Pearson Carmichael, the freshman from Bend, Oregon.
27 points per game in high school for Carmichael. Another guy, him and Bowie, very confident in themselves.
So now the starters coming out. And whoever's left in the pit's on their feet. Junior Joseph, 16 points, 9 rebounds. Dent had 16, Washington 13, Omsul 11. That group put on a show tonight.
No doubt. That was quite the performance. And it was collective, too. All the Lobos that just got a hand made a big, big impact.
Jovan Milicic. A little over 2 minutes to go. Bowie. So the three-point stats aren't going to look quite so bad with some
late
threes
ones
down the stretch here.
I'm telling you, those two freshmen, they play with confidence, and if you give them an inch, they're going to raise up and shoot it.
It's the New Mexico team now at a point where they have wins over San Diego State and Boise State. Granted, at home, you got to take care of business on your home floor, but New Mexico now about to get to 7-1, matching their best start ever in this conference. That's what Richard Pitino has brought to this program.
And it's a fun brand of basketball, too. Playing fast, playing hard defensively. Gives his guys a lot of freedom, but that freedom better be rewarded with some intelligence as well in terms of shot selection and sharing the ball.
Philip Borovicinen at the line. Gets that Tyson Dagenhart done. 14 points. So now 4 away still from 5th. All time at Boise State. Unable to get it tonight. Minute 42 to go. Borovicinen, the transfer from Arizona. Didn't get a whole lot of playing time in Tucson. Comes to New Mexico. He's been really good for them as a key role player. And quite simply, a statement has been made tonight by New Mexico.
Bowie and Carmichael here in the final 4 or 5 minutes of this thing, just raining threes. It's important. I know it's not going to change the outcome, but to keep those guys continuing to be comfortable and confident is huge.
Well, and those are freshmen trying to earn some minutes as well. Jovan Milicevic, yes.
5 points for Milicevic here down the stretch. Some contested jump shots.
Good post work there by Javen Buchanan. NIA All-American a year ago. Makes the jump to Division I.
He was playing NAIA level a year ago.
Oh, and he's a special talent. A lot of contact, no whistle. Shot clock is off. New Mexico can hold if they would like, and I was counting on my partner Nick Bond to save me from
Carmichael's going to come on.
Got 25 seconds left. The last thing we need is a collision here on the sideline.
What a performance.
What a performance and a send-off from this New Mexico fan base who's been on their feet all night long. New Mexico came out with authority to start this game, a relentless effort as they dominate Boise State. A very quality win for New Mexico, 84-65 to beat the Broncos. There's the handshake line. And Nick, tonight, it was all New Mexico right from the tip.
Yes, start to finish, set the tone. Defense and energy led the charge and created easy opportunities in the open floor, which is where New Mexico really flourishes. Dent was a star. Nelly Jr. Joseph produced. Just a really impressive night from New Mexico.
If New Mexico was trying to go from the wrong side of the bubble to the right side, take a look at this performance tonight. This is the kind of tape that may sway some of the folks in the selection committee. A statement for the Lobos, 84-65 over Boise State. Indigenous Heritage Night, a good one. The Lobos in turquoise, a gem of a performance to dominate Boise State. For Nick Baum, our entire crew, my name is Trent Rush. Thanks for being with us, hanging out late night in the Mountain West Conference. This has been a presentation of Mountain West Conference basketball on FS1. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you.